Hi, and good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're at in this wonderful global doll community that we have. Hi, my froggy stuff. Thank you for joining. Hi, Allie 6767 1962. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today is Saturday. Guys, we got through a full week. We are right here at the cusp of a whole new month. We are going into February, and I am so excited. Hey, I am super, super, super excited. I got all excited. My froggy waved at me, and I was like, hey. So I'm excited. Today is Saturday. Tomorrow's my mother's birthday. It's Sunday. And then, literally, we are steps into February, and I'm excited about February because that also marks the time, yes, Black History Month, and also Valentine's, and my wedding anniversary. So I'm really just super stoked, getting very, very, very close to our 15th year of being together. Being married. We've been together for 15 years already. In September, we are together for 15 years. We celebrate that special day of when we first met. And then 5 months later, we got married. So February is our time where we celebrate our wedding anniversary. And I'm super, super excited. And if you know any of my children's birth dates and you count back, you're like, yeah, y'all did get super excited because we have a lot of babies that came during that particular season of our life anniversary. So there goes my husband. Hello, Coach Play. As Coach Play with an I and not a Y, is Coach Play with an I. If you have any, questions that you want to ask about nutrition, health, fitness, anything of that nature, you need a trainer, you need a coach, you need someone to help motivate you, contact him. I'm not a crazy, female wife where I'm like, oh my God, I don't want him having female clients. Any way that you can get healthy, health is wealth. Okay, any way that you can be healthy, that's what's going to allow you to be able to continue doing whatever it is that you do to be a positive influence in our community. My froggy stuff, 20 years married this year for me. Congrats on 15. Thank you. Congrats on 20 years, sis. That's where we're getting to. I'm excited. I mean, it's just like a growing thing. You know what? You're growing and maturing and you're changing and evolving. You're seeing your partner change and evolve, and your desires in life, are different, but the commitment is always the same. You feel me? Like I may have wanted to be a nail tech when we first got together, but now my desire as far as occupation wise has changed because there's certain parts of me that has shifted and has come to know myself differently. So where it's like, doing nails is cool, but that's not the main focus for me. But the commitment together has gotten so much richer because it helps me to learn who I am, learn who he is. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. So congratulations on 20 years married for you as well, sis and brother. That's awesome. Alexis Love 95, my niece who is about to deliver in February. That's another awesome thing that's going to be taking place. So we're talking about awesome things for February. Hey. So super proud of her. Known her since before she was born. Literally, her aunt was my childhood best friend, as well as her dad, who I grew up with. An amazing family, just very, very blessed to have them in my life and vice versa. And so I'm super proud of her. She's married now. She has a son. They have a son, and now she is pregnant with their daughter. And I'm super stoked for you. So congratulations again. I had actually told my husband, I was like, I'm going to call her, reach out to her. But we've been having such busy days. The children have been, getting their schoolwork done and so forth. So a lot of busy days. It may be earlier, close to your anniversary. She's talking a week early induction, but we shall see. LOL. Oh my goodness. That would be so cool. Babies are supposed to be born when they are. I never do say, have them be born on my anniversary, have them be born on my birthday. I remember people used to say that to me. They're like, I hope you give birth on my birthday. I'm like, I just met you in a supermarket. Literally. Why would I want my baby born on your birthday and I don't even know you? I don't even know you. But I think that they're supposed to be born when they're supposed to, so they can be fully mature, lungs healthy, everything internally healthy and well. That's the main thing. So If baby comes on our anniversary, yay. If baby comes a week before, week after, not before the anniversary, because that may be too early, but baby comes a week after, anything like that. And just as long as baby's happy and healthy, and mommy's healthy and happy, and daddy's healthy and happy. Doll mama joined. Thank you so much. Anyone who joins, I just want to tell you thank you. If you want to, put a little shout down at the bottom, that's cool. If you want to join this live, because it's just me and you today, if you want to join this live, just let me know. Just send a request and I will invite you into this call. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a very important topic to me, and that's why do adults play whatever it is? Good morning to you too. Whatever it is, why do they play dolls? Why do they play with dance? Why do they play games, like video games? Why do adults play? I recently was privileged and honored to listen to a young man on YouTube, probably about 2 weeks ago. And he talked about how play is not always, related to childhood trauma. And he was like, honestly, I don't think childhood trauma has very much to do with the reason why people play. Hi, thank you for joining so officially, BB. He's like, I really don't think that's why people play. He said, people play as adults because it's fun. It's something that they want to do, and I'm tired of people saying that our generation, he's a little younger than me. When he said our generation, I was like, oh, I don't feel like I'm a part of it. But he was like, I'm tired of people saying that our generation is playing simply for the factor being that we have childhood trauma. And I feel him. Now, you guys know I have this book, and I have several other books, Adult Play Therapy, Devotional, and Journal. And I'm really, and get this on Amazon. If you want a signed copy, I will be ordering it. I was going to order it last week, but life happened. Things took place. Now we got the finances and so forth in place. So I will be ordering these books and signing it and sending it off to you. Of course, I have to receive payment first, but I will, if you want a signed copy, you can order it directly from me. If you would like it from Amazon, order it. If you want an ebook, order it. Both are available. And this is hardback. All right. So I'm really big on adult play therapy. I'm big about therapy. I have a background with a bachelor's in psychology, went to school for social work, went to grad school for, come back to me for my MFT, marriage and family therapy, counseling. So those are really important to me as far as the inner child and just your inner self being healed. I'm human. I go through stuff. I'm healing. Like I had a situation recently, a sister of mine on here, Barb's World, sent me a post with the Lego City. And it was really cool. The earring back came out. Really cool. But it was so accurate and so detailed. It literally made me cry. Like it's like 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. And my son was up, my second oldest, and he was just like, Mom, are you okay? He got me some tissue, and I'm like a stuffer. Like I just stuff it in, and I was like, oh, I'm fine, but I'm realizing that's not healthy. It's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for my kids, because I'm now seeing some of the kids that have picked up on that, and they've taken on that trait where they're kind of morose and they're just, you know what I mean? Like, and not like an overall personality, but at times they can be kind of morose, but they're just like, I'm okay, nothing's wrong. And I think it kind of is a reflection of me, and that, I don't want to communicate what's going on. I just rather kind of like tuck it in because you're too young to understand, and it's kind of silly while I'm crying anyways, right? This is going on mentally. But I realized in that moment, it's like either elevate or you're going to stay stagnant, and you're going to see this stagnation infect the rest of the household. And so I made a choice. I was like, okay, I'm just going to talk to him about it, but I'm going to condense it, but I'm going to talk to him about it. And I felt so much better. I was like, I saw this reel. It had the Legos, and it reminded me of Detroit. And just literally in that moment, I thought about going to downtown Detroit and hanging out with my family. And, and that made me think about my family that's not here anymore, that have passed on and transcended. And, my children not being able to spend time with them. All that. You just like... Because trauma hits you in an instant. Trauma does not go like step by step by step. That post-traumatic stress disorder trauma just like boom. So when I saw that reel, it hit like boom, and tears just came down. And I had to realize, no, and I'm like, I'm here in Kentucky and I'm so far away from back home. And I became so homesick, hadn't seen my family in a while. And the ones who are still here, I'm like, I miss them. And I really, really do. Miss them a whole lot. And so it hit. It hit. So we all have things in us that we're daily healing. It doesn't have to be a situation of molestation and abuse, but that's definitely part of it. It doesn't have to be homelessness or hunger or poverty. It could be something as simple as you moved, not close to your family, and in proximity as far as physical distance, or you could even not be close to them emotionally or psychologically. There could be some distance, and you have no clue how to bridge it, and it hurts. You have no clue how to get there, and it hurts. So I am very, very big when it comes to therapy and healing and self-healing. That's part of who I am. But I dig what the young man was saying. He's spot on. He's like, not everything. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Tell Daddy I said thank you too. Yes, they always be looking out for me. Always. Always. I'm very blessed. But I understand what he's saying, because I may end up needing that later. You never know. He was like, we don't all play because of trauma. Very, very true. I do believe that inner healing is important, but I value everything this young man said. So let's get into some reasons why we as adults play. If you think of any reasons, put it in the chat. Like I said, you can always ask for an invite. Don't mind. Let's talk this out. If you find any reasons in your mind why you feel, or in your heart, why adults play, and I don't say it, list it. Even if I do say it, let's talk about it. And if you're watching this on replay, put it in the comments. Put in there. Why do you think? Why do you feel? Why do you believe people play? Because thinking, feeling, believing are all important dimensions and complexes of who we are. So I will take any of them. If you're like, oh, well, I feel this way. Put it on there. I think this way. Put it on there. I believe this. Put it on there. All right. Number one, I agree. We do it because it's fun. Let's be honest. It is so much fun to do your doll's hair, to customize them, to put on their clothes, and then to create the storyline. Even if you're not doing storyline writing with your dolls, it's still so awesome to create these dioramas, to get the props and the miniatures. Am I right? And then to take these photos and try to bring life into something that's plastic and give them this personality and to give them this strut. If you're doing fashion and you strike a pose, like, I want to see it. I want to see it in the way that you're able to articulate it. I don't care if it's a Mattel Barbie, an Integrity doll, a Desiree doll, a Brianna doll. Come on. I love what you do, and the way that you do it means that you're having fun. I've always wanted to be a director, storyteller, and I'm having so much fun making mini movies. Come on now. Zeta the Barbie girl, I love your reels. And that was my Froggy Stuff who said that. Thank you for joining, Zeta the Barbie girl. Pink Barbie World, thank you for joining. So we talked about fun. Fun is so important too. It's a long list. Stress reliever. I'm hoping that I can actually put all these in this one video. Stress reliever. Playing with our dolls, creating these storylines, doing the photography, making the fashion, making the dioramas. And check out my Froggy Stuff. I feel like we all know and we're all familiar and we all are like super fans of your page. Ah, yes, your reels are awesome, Zeta. I love it. And check out her page. But when it comes to my Froggy Stuff, I did not give you a shout out earlier, and it was not on purpose. I apologize. It's just that we are such super fans of your page. Like, literally, in my mind, I felt like everyone would already know you because it's like an Oprah thing. Like, do we give a shout out to Oprah? Because Oprah is Oprah. So you're like, it's O. Who doesn't know O? So I kind of felt like we know my Froggy Stuff. My Froggy Stuff, amazing entrepreneur, just mommy, female, just like warrior out here in the doll community making moves and letting it be known that adults play. I love your page. My girls love your page. That's really how they became inspired to come to me to be like, hey, can we do this? Can we make these rooms? Can we do this? Because they were looking at your stuff on YouTube. We all were, but then they were like, Mom, I want you in on this. And they went to Daddy, I want you in on this. I want Mommy helping us with this. And that's how this came about. So you have inspired so many of us to do what we're doing right now. And I just want you to be encouraged to know that we are paying attention and we love it. And we know that it's not easy, especially when you have to juggle life and then also still make room and time for play. So just total honor, sis. Thank you so much. LOL, I am just glad to be here. I feel you. I do. And I just want to tell you thank you. So check out her page, YouTube. Check out her page, Instagram, all the other social media sites. She's amazing. Stress reliever. If you're dealing with life and you're an adult and you got responsibilities and you don't even have to be a mommy or a daddy, you could be single and just dealing with paying bills and living life and making accomplishments and getting over failures and you know what I mean? Life. Trying to put the money down so you can get this house and go on vacation and do this and do that. Life can be very, very stressful. And that's in your own personal life. We haven't even gotten into what's happening in Memphis and what's happening in this place and the homelessness and children having to mine for makeup. I'm going to take a real quick break. This is not a rant, but as you guys know, we homeschool. And yesterday we spent some time to do some cultural awareness. At least once a month, we want to make sure that we do focus on cultural awareness. We do it all the time, but really just being able to watch documentaries and have that devoted time to look and see and how other people live and what kids their age has to go through. And we watched these kids mine for mica, which is an ingredient in makeup, which as you guys can tell, I do have my makeup right now. And I said, okay, and this was like a huge thing for me today. Putting on this makeup was hard because I watched these kids mine yesterday. Hi, Fairy of the Wind 2001. It hit so hard. And I was like, even if I didn't have kids, it would have hit hard. But having kids and picturing my little one and on up, just the whole, we have stair steps all the way up to the tallest one, the oldest one. It's like seeing them having to be in this dangerous situation, no shoes on, clothes tattered, going down this dark caravan to mine, knowing that this hole can close on them and kill them, crush them. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So today was hard putting on my makeup because I was literally like, should I even be doing this? And I looked up yesterday and they talked about the company Lush, and I can't think of the other company that does not deal with mica. But I said, once we get some free play money that doesn't go to bills, I am getting makeup that is free of mica because I do not want to support any businesses that includes child labor. And it hit hard. It hit so hard. So I advise you guys, girls, whoever, look at your makeup. See if it includes mica. If it does, I understand if you're like, hey, I just don't have the finances right now to just go buy a whole new thing of makeup. I got to use what I got to do. I'm in that boat too. But when you do get the finances, get mica-free makeup. Like I said, the company Lush does not deal with mica. And mica is like the ingredient that gives you that sparkle. If you look at my face, you'll see it sparkles a little. And that's the ingredient in the soil that gives the makeup the sparkle. I was not intending for this to be a lesson, but it is. Because this is serious. Lush does not deal with mica, and Estee Lauder is now I don't know for sure if they don't deal with the mica, but I do know that they are involved with an organization that is connected to the education of children so that the children don't have to be at the mines, but can focus on learning and growing and becoming more. So check your makeup, guys. Check your makeup, girls. Check your makeup. We need to shop mica free. And I see some comments and I'm going to answer you. All right, let's see here. We have Doll Mama I collect dolls because I was an only child. Same here. And it brought joy to me. I would never let people know that I collected dolls. But after my mom died in the 90s, I discovered that there was thousands of people. It is. Zaya the doll at Doll Mama. I started to play with dolls because I also had no one else to play with. It allowed me to use my imagination and become more creative. Oh, there goes a point right there. I like that. Allows one to use their imagination. Come on now. Hi, Daily Adventures of Ash Harbor. And be creative. Yes. Thank you for joining. It was Black History Month, and I found this Black Doll Club in my city. I joined, and it was full of history of dolls and fun trips and luncheons. Come on, and luncheons. Yes. And we're going to get to that point on here, and I'm glad that you said that. Okay, so it's a stress reliever. 3, a sense of having control. There's so many things out of our control in our lives. Let's be honest. A lot of things that are out of control in our lives. So being able to manipulate these dolls, create the storyline, or if you're dealing with fashion, being able to pose them and have them wear what we want them to wear. We never do go to the doll and say, hey, honey, is this okay to wear today? You know, I kind of wanted you to look similar to me. I don't really know if that's okay with you. Is this all right? We, for the most part, I'm not saying other people don't. Maybe you do have that kind of connection with your doll. But generally, whenever I put on Sheeta's clothes, I just put on what I want Sheeta to wear on that day, or what that storyline is connected to. I'm like, okay, let's put this on. Or if you're doing nature pictures, you know, out and about pictures, those dolls are going to wear the clothes that you want them to. They're going to be posed the way that you want them to. They don't say to you, I don't pose like this. I want my head down more. You know, they don't tell you that. You're posing them the way that you feel inclined to. So you have more control compared to working with humans and dealing with children. They do what the blank they want to do. So you're like, I can't control you. Let me have a hobby that I can have more control over and really be able to have a better gauge of the outcome. So that's another reason why we as adults play. Connection to your inner child. And it doesn't always have to be traumatic or abusive, and he's right. But sometimes, unfortunately, it is. So sometimes you do have to heal that inner child. And then sometimes you had a really joyful, great, well-rounded, hi, Barb's World. Thank you for joining. Sometimes you can have a really great, well-rounded childhood. Everything was great, but you're in life as an adult, responsibilities, like we said earlier, you kind of lose out on that spirit of joy and fun. So now you're like, I want to connect with that little girl that's inside of me, or a little boy that's inside of me that just had fun. That's another reason why we as adults play. My club will be having a doll luncheon in April of 2024. We'll keep in touch. Please keep in touch. I would love to learn more about this. Hey, sis, I just got done talking about that reel that you sent me of the Detroit, layout with the Legos, and how that just hits so hard, because you just never do know what things are going to come up for you, what pictures, what posts can really trigger things for you. But I'm so glad you sent it to me. So very, very glad. Okay, healing childhood and adult trauma. So being able to have that playtime allows you to heal whatever trauma that you have inside of you that you may know of, that you may not know of. It may be unconscious. All right. Connection with your younger offspring, nieces, nephews, kids that you work with, etc. So some of us are teachers. I've been a teacher. When I met my husband, I was teaching, and then there's some of us that work in daycares. It could be anything. You can have your own kids, like I do, and you can have nieces and nephews, like I do. I first met my husband. He had a nephew, and he still does, praise the Lord, but he was 6 at the time. He's a grown-up now. I haven't seen him in quite some time, but nonetheless, life just happens. People get busy, young people, get involved with different stuff. But nonetheless, when we met, and he was just recently 6, he had these WWE fighters or action figures, and they were inside of a shoebox. And I literally just got on the ground with him and started playing. Why? Because I loved playing still, and people kind of looked at me like, that's really weird. That's weird. But it was fun. It allowed me to connect to him. I thought he was just simply adorable. I really, really did. Like, I told my husband, I said, that was part of the package still right there. The niece and the nephews. Like, I loved being able to see them and spend time with them. And the WWE action figures was like right up my alley. You know, I was like, you want to play? Let's get down on the ground and do it. And sadly enough, now life is so busy, I don't always have time to even play with my own kids. But back then, I had more time to play. And it allowed me to connect. And now, you know, the girls and I, you know, we have our ways of connecting. And the boys and I have our way of connecting through play as well. You know, even before this live, our number 7 child came up to me with his helicopter. And he's got Black Adam and Hawkman fighting. And he found this way, like there's this little ridge on that plane to get them to stand. And so he had it where, you know, they were fighting, and we had talked maybe about 3 weeks ago, like soon after Christmas, as far as being able to pose your dolls. And if they, you know, if you strike, if your doll, Black Adam strikes Hawkman, then Hawkman can't just stand there still. He's got to be affected by either he's dodging or he got hit, and you got to pose it. And I'm telling you, this kid is like, he's just elevated. Like, just that simple advice. He just shot off. He's just doing his own thing. So when he showed me today, I was like, good job. And all of our kids, they love dioramas. They love, you know, playing and being able to create storylines with what they do. And it's not even because I'm like forcing them. They just enjoy doing it. And I enjoy being able to watch them. So the play is different. I don't really get a chance to get down on the ground as much. But I get to demonstrate this and show them that. And it allows us to be able to connect. So play does allow us to connect. Zayna the Barbie girl said, Zeta, the Barbie girl, I said it so quick, I apologize. My doll play is fun, but it also is therapeutic. Yes, it is. It's very therapeutic. Another reason why is boredom. There are so many people, it's been documented, that when we had this pandemic, they admitted to being bored. They were like, I am so bored. I need to find something to do. And reading a book was not always good enough. Just real talk. They were like, we're locked in. We're shut in. What can we do? And I think the reason why that shut in hit so many of us so hard was because we realized life can be boring. The mundane stuff of life, okay, can be boring. And so when you're just sitting up there and you don't have work to be distracted by, the girl next door chewing her gum real loud, or I should say right next door in your cubicle chewing her gum real loud, and just, you know, not really being in agreement and being difficult while you're at work. You don't have that distraction anymore. And so the things that you could complain about and be distracted about, and they didn't get my order right at Wendy's, and Wendy's was shut down. You know what I mean? Like, everything that you could complain about or be excited about, going down to the park and doing this and that, it was shut down. And people were met with their own boredom. As they realized, I don't really know what fun, creative things I can do. And so out of that boredom arose this love for a niche, arose this love for their hobby. Hi, Idalid. Hey, sis. Check out her page as well. Such fun and involved content. The Doll Wives of Dollstagram. So that's also one of the hashtags that she has that is an open hashtag, correct? So anybody can get involved with it. Check out her page. She also does re-roots and sells hair for locks and for dreads. So check her out. All right, so boredom is one of the things that sparked people to play. Number 8, something they enjoyed as a child. The nostalgia. You see so many of us getting dolls from the 90s and the 80s. Why? Because it helps connect us to what was. And some people have nostalgia, even if they didn't come from that era. They're still like, you know, I just really do like that era. But usually nostalgia is connected to a time in which we were present in our youth. And so some of us are like, you know, I want to remember what it was like in 1998 when I got that first doll that moved and she was on a bicycle. And so I want to get that doll. That's my Grell doll. And when you hear about a Grell doll, that's like the doll that I want the most. That's like my dream doll on my wish list. I get that doll. It's like I don't have to get any more dolls after that. Oh, thank you. She said my mini is so cute. Girl, it's so hard to find a mini. I think any of us who have a mini know we're like, Miniatures are hard because even when you find one for some reason, that's when you realize that you do have some conceitedness and some vanity. Even if you thought that you didn't, because you're like, does she really look like me? I want to look exactly like me. And then you're like, oh snap, I really am battling vanity, like for real. Like this is as close as it's going to get in plastic unless I get this doll customized. If I get her customized with a photo of me, send it off to one of these amazing, oh my God, give it up to the ones who do one-of-a-kind dolls. You guys are amazing. You make them look so much like the actual people. So I'm like, if I do that, then yeah. But if I don't do that, I need to be satisfied with how she looks. So I in this year, real talk, because I battled with this. And I think this is my third mini. And I was just like, I need to learn how to be satisfied with who she is, knowing that she's not going to be an exact copy of me, but just a replica, you know, a representation. So that's where I'm at with that. I ranted a little bit, but any of us who have miniatures know it's not easy. Haha, yes. My Froggy Stuff says, LOL. Idollar said, yes. They did the Barbie doll, said, I want a mini, but none of the dolls resemble me. I'm telling you, we get confronted with our own vanity. It does. It's interesting. So the nostalgia. 8, money. Money is their profession. Maybe people who are involved and they're doing adult play, they're actually able to get money from what they're doing. So that's another reason why. Sponsorship. There's plenty of people, I see them on here and they have their sponsorship. I am not mad at you. Do your thing. I really am not. If you have found out a way to monetize this and make it into a business and entrepreneurship, you have made play your work and work your play, do it. Okay? So if you're getting sponsorship, if you're able to get monetization, do that. But that's another reason why people are able to do adult play. Idollar for you said, yeah, mine is my third, but I keep changing her hair. Sis, I understand. Melco Jojo 16 go. Hey, thank you so much for joining. He also has lives, so check out his live. My Froggy Stuff said, I want to change my mini so bad, but the people won't let me. Sis, I didn't know this. I understand. It's like our desire to have an exact replica of us. It makes it really, really hard. But I tell you, we have some amazing artists on this in this doll community. There have been some people, I've been checking them out. I'm like, hey, once the money is nice, I am going to be going to you to get a customized. Because I love my mini. I do, but I do know that I want one that looks like me. So maybe he's still using her, but just have them erase the paint and customize her. Once upon a time in Finland. Sis, thank you for joining. She is so amazing. Check out her page. Excellent, awesome storyline. If you have not, beautiful soul. Just loves being able to help people. I have so many awesome, amazing things to say about you. And I'm just really, really grateful and thankful that we stay connected. She's amazing. Check out her page. Once Upon a Time in Finland. All right, I doubt it for you. Yes, the monetization is nice. You're right. And so that's one of the reasons why people are able to, you know, be involved with adult play. That's the reason why they do it. And I say, like I said, do it, boo. If that's what you're able to do, hey, peep game to me. Monetization is the goal. I really want to write for TV. There you go. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's some people, and I have seen in comments where people are like, you know, it's not right to get money from a hobby. Why not? Why not? Why not play your work and work your play? I'm not mad at you. Do it. Do it. So much of our life is disconnected. And yet if you can make work your play and play your work, you can be able to stay involved with your family and stay involved with yourself and connect with this play. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be stressful at times, because it will. But I have nothing wrong with it. I think it's a great goal to have. All right, number 11, just to stand out and be different from people. To be unique. Aw, Once Upon a Time in Finland said, aw, you make me blush. I dialed for you, said, yes, I'll give you the tea when you're ready, boo. Please do. I dial it for you. Exactly. Once Upon a Time. Yes. Once Upon a Time in Finland said is win-win situation. I agree. I dial it for you. Yes. Win-win. Exactly. Exactly. So another reason why adults play is just to be unique, to be different, to stand out from the crowd. Some people just do it literally to be able to say, Like they may be with a whole bunch of other people, and people are like, well, I just put all my money into the Hobby Lobby stock. How do you feel about that? And another person's like, well, I'm telling you that Chick-fil-A is really a good stock. And then you're the one that's like, I just bought an $800 doll. And they're like, what? And you're like, yes, I'm a doll collector. Like, you just want to be different, There's some people are just like, I just want to be different. And then there's sometimes where you just literally, naturally are different. And I believe a lot of us fall into that cesspool of just being naturally different. We just like doing things the way that we do because it brings us joy. And it's not a matter of, hey, I want to stand out from you. But there are some people who are just like, you know what I mean? They got, the, what bird is that with all the feathers? I can't even think of it. But they're just like, yes, this is me. Girl, stocks is it. My husband been talking to me about it for a while. I got all kinds of laughing emojis from I Dollar for You and Barb's World. And I Dollar for You said yes. And then check out Barb's World's page. Come on now. My froggy stuff said, I buy stocks and dolls. Come on now. For real, we need to do that. Once upon a time in Finland said we use huge amounts of our hobby. If we get something back, it's great. Exactly. I Dollar for You said facts. Yes, me too. Stocks and dolls. There we go. Zeta, the Barbie girl, said to be paid to do what you love is the greatest joy. I Dollar for You said yes, Barb's World page is so dope. Come on now. Yes. I love so many people's page. Like, I really do. I get a little frustrated. Now, don't cite me on bad parenting, but I could be on here and your stories are just so great. Or I'm on your YouTube page and I'm like, you get so involved and the kids are like right there. And like, Mom, we're going to get a snack. Mom, are we going to get a snack? Mom, I have to go to the bathroom. Mom, and then I get a little frustrated and I'm like, God dang it, I'm trying to read this. It's my time. When I get on here and I read your stories or I'm looking at your pictures or I'm looking at your reels, your videos on YouTube, that's my time. This is my mommy time. So I want to give it up to y'all for the beautiful and amazing content that you produce. I don't care if you're on here right now or if you get on here later. I am talking to you. That content is my mommy time. And there are so many of us that need it. Mommy time, daddy time, single time, you away from all the other chaos. It's our time. So thank you for thinking of us to do that because we need it. For real. Doll Mama, it brought me together with other doll communities. Barb's World, thanks. I Dollar for You and I Dollar for You. And she said, you're welcome back. And we got some loving emojis. That's what it's about. I Dollar for You said, yes, that's me right now. LOL. I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Where are we at right here? And I'm watching live. Exactly. We got a laughing emoji from Melco, Jojo. My froggy stuff. Barb's World laughing. My froggy stuff said, hide in the bathroom. Girl, ain't that right? It reminds me of the commercial they got where the mom is like eating cookies or something and she's in the bathtub. Ain't that right? Hide in the bathroom. Barb's World said, thank you, sis. Saying to you, sis, I love you. Yes, saying, I love the love. I love y'all. Woo, I need it. Yes, we need it. Zeta, the Barbie girl, is laughing, and I Dollar for You said, I hide in the tub and be reading y'all stuff till the water gets cold. Only thing is, making sure you don't drop that phone in the tub. I'm serious. Like, I try. And then I get so nervous about dropping my phone in the tub or having some freak accident happen that, because anytime y'all don't see me on here, it's because I dropped my phone. It's happened often. So I'm not going to sit here and act like me dropping a phone is just a possibility. It happened. It happened on Christmas Day. It happened in August. It happens. And then I have to wait so long to either get the phone and get everything logged in, and it's distressing. So then I'm like, especially when it comes to the YouTube, because my froggy stuff, I want to watch everything in detail that you do. You have amazing content, just like everybody else. But I'm calling you out because you have a YouTube page. So a lot of times when it comes to your page, I'm like, I have to see it exactly. Like, we have to watch this on the big screen. We have to either set up our YouTube on a big screen or Xbox it, whatever it is. Or I have to be able to look at it on my phone or my husband's tablet. because I want to see it in detail. So usually I'll put like either my my meta physics teaching on while I'm in the tub, or I'll put TD Jakes on. That way, because they're not really interactive physically, so I can just listen to it and I just sit on the toilet or sit in not like in the toilet, but like on like the top of the toilet or on the sink and just listen. I don't want to lose my phone. I lose my connection with you guys, right? Get a phone stand. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. I'm taking that. Thank you. Once upon a time, Finland. Hey, and that was Doll Mama who said that. Thank you. Hey, I have dropped my phone in the sea. Oh my God. While doing doll photos, it's still working. Wow. I'm glad it's still working. Girl, that is commitment. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, that's what I said. You're getting monetization, sponsorship. Do it. We go, like you said, we go hard with our hobby. That's what she said a little earlier. And there's nothing wrong with it. Purple Consular, my God. Purple Consular, you are amazing. Like, she is a friend of all friends in this community. I've seen your name on this person's station, this person's channel, this and that. You are so awesome and so amazing. I thank you for being just a true friend, true sister, just in the community. You have no issues with anybody. I love it. I love it. Like, for real, you're just so sweet. Like, thank you. Like, for real, Purple Consular, every time I put something out on my story, you always comment. Like I said, I see your name on other people's comments and stuff. And I'm like, man, she's just cool. Thank you. It doesn't say anything about anybody. Like, everybody in here, we all cool. But it's just Purple Consular is just like, you know what I mean? How you have some people and you're just like, I tell you, that one lady, Jennifer Lewis, we call her like the black mama of Hollywood, like she everybody mama. That's what we say in our community, in our subset of community. Jennifer Lewis, look her up. She was on the series Blackish. She was a voice on, she was Mama Odie on The Princess and the Frog. She's a fun character. I love her. But, you know, that's just how I feel about you. So I Dial It For You said, yes, my second phone is still broke. Oh, been broke 3 months. And that's my favorite one to take pics with. Stinks. Purple Consular said, thank you so much. I hope you're able to get that together. Barb's World said, support your sisters. Exactly. Laughing emojis from Zayla the Barbie girl. I Dial It For You said, yes, I agree. She's the sweetest. Yes, she is. And Melco Jojo16 Go says she's great. See, sis, we love you. We just want to let you know that. Thank you. You support. We thank you. 12, to test out storyline. You may want to test out your storyline. Hey, how are you, True Big Kid? You may want to test out your storyline. You could be a seamstress, a designer with a clothing line. Actually, literally, historically speaking, during the Great Depression, as you guys may know, stocks went down. Everything was low. People who were in poverty became homeless. People who were middle class became in poverty. People who were, you know, upper class were middle class. Everything shifted, literally. And so we see a time where infrastructure completely collapsed. People jumping out of windows literally because they didn't know how they were going to be able to survive it. Tell you one thing, a lot of your clothing lines that you wear right now were able to survive during that time of the Great Depression because of miniatures. Look it up. It's a history fact. They were able to take their clothing line, miniaturize it because there wasn't a lot of fabric because imports, exports were low. So they took the scraps, made them into miniature clothes, and then had those dolls or miniature mannequins to model in a display those clothing lines and clothing items and wardrobes. And that is what kept their businesses afloat to this day. So I'm telling you, it's awesome and amazing to be able to see how miniatures have been used and our dolls have been used to be able to keep companies going. This is what our production society has been built on. And so we see during that Great Depression that they used miniatures to be able to showcase their clothing line. Modeling, you can try out natural poses. Photography, you're going to be able to try out different lighting and poses and dioramas, being able to use miniatures. Beauticians can test out hairstyles using miniatures. This is what we're talking about today. Why do adults play? Doll Mama sounds like today, but we got cell phones. Exactly. Zeta the Barbie girl said, wow. Barb's World said, wow. Some cool facts. Thanks for that tidbit. No problem. Yes, Doll Mama said awesome. No problem. That's what we're here for. 13, marketing, guys. Marketing. Market your business. I just saw awesome info. Thank you, Doll Mama. Marketing your business. I just saw someone recently, and I wish I would have wrote her name down. She had put a post out for a hairline, for hair extensions. And I'm not very certain if she's the owner of the company or if she's just putting out that post to give attention to that company. But the company, they do hair extensions and they use those microchips to do it. Yeah, I went to the company. I went to the page to look it up because I'm all about research. And I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. So I was like, exactly, market the business. Because the doll in that particular, diorama scene and in that photo was getting their hair done by the beautician. I don't think they call it beautician anymore. Look how old I am. I'm like, beautician. People call it stylist now. Hairstylist. I say beautician. I'm old school. Yes. Hey. But in that picture and in that post, you had the beautician / stylist doing the hair. And then the rest of the post was really geared towards this company that does the hair extensions and the way that they do the hair extensions. Marketing. You have a business. You know someone with a business. You want to get sponsorship, something of that nature, or you're already doing it. This is an awesome way to be able to market business, is with our managers and our dolls. And that's why some people do it. Also, joining a community to be able to fit in, to be able to have people that are on the same vibrational energy level with you. Right? And we just had that on there. You just talked about it, Doll Mama. Exactly. You were like, I'm part of this doll community, black doll community in my local area. And we talked about the history facts with our dolls. Exactly. Being able to be a part of our community virtually as well as physically, being able to go to locations and meet, laugh, talk, and share, being able to have doll meets, being able to go to conventions. Come on now. That's what we do this for, to be able to meet people who are like us, right? Who think the way that we do. It's hard being a circle and trying to fit into a square shape, or to be a square trying to fit into a circle. It's not going to work. And so many of us have felt outside of society, and we said, what is it that makes us different? And right here in this doll community, we have found each other, and it's amazing. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have haters that get on here, or people who are kind of like on the fence, like they're with being able to be a part of the community, but they also want to be a part of society. And so some days they're posting and everything's great and you guys are sharing. The next day they're kind of like, blank you. I don't really get involved with these dolls. These dolls aren't that serious to me. I make too much of a big deal. And you're like, wait a minute. I thought we were all on the same page. I thought we were all enjoying dolls. And it's very confusing, but those are people who are kind of like one foot in society, one foot trying to do their own thing. And they themselves are kind of confused. They're like, I want to do my own thing, but I don't want to be so different that people don't accept me, because I still want to fit into that community. But for those of us, and you have grace for them. For anybody that's like, well, what do you do? Have grace for them. Understand that we all battle being on the outside. We all battle with being honest and true to ourselves to some level. It may be 10%. It may be 90%. You may be like 10%, like, I wish people accepted me. Oh, well, no big deal. I accept me. That's all that matters. Or you could be 90% where you're like, I want to do my own thing, but doing my own thing will cause me to be different from my family members, make my mama talk about me, have friends leave me because they're like, wow, you're crazy. So it's very easy to want to straddle. It's very easy. So when people are straddling, you see them, having one mood where they're posting and they got really great content, and then you may reach out to them or you may comment, or the next time they're like, it's not that serious. It's just dolls. Y'all need to get over it. Pray for them. They're struggling. Real talk. They're struggling. They're trying to figure out where they're at with this. And even if they're not saying it in that language, maybe they're saying it's just dolls and you guys need to get over it and chill. Like maybe that's the language that they're using, because everyone uses different language. Some people are like, whatever, get them out of my face, I don't care. Then you got another group that's like, I really don't want to have these conversations. You're not going to see me on IG for a while because this is too much. So everyone has a different language of saying, I quit. This is not that serious, regardless of what dialect that they're using or what language that they're using, what area that they come from in their life. That's what they're going to speak from. And you have to understand they're struggling to be able to identify themselves in this community. Pray for them. Give them healing energies. Whatever you do during your meditational state, think positive for them. Don't get involved with being distracted from what you enjoy doing. Whatever your reason is. Whatever your reason is. They're still trying to figure out how to be able to incorporate this life into their regular life. And I understand. So let's get to some comments. Smart, great idea. Awesome info, down mama. Melco Jojo says, smart, great idea. Purple Consular said, yes, give them and yourself grace. Come on now. Come on now. Dolly for you said, yes. Bars World said, child, that's why I stay in my lane by asking God to come get your kids, not with the negative energy. Exactly. Down mama said, I love this community because I'm almost 75. What? Girl, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hey, I love it and have learned so much from this community. Hey, we learn from each other, don't we? We learn from each other. Thank you for that. Down mama, yes, they are going through so much, so much. They really, really are. They really, really are. So just pray for them. Give them positive healing energy. Allow them to be able to refocus and find their identity outside of what society says. Because it's really important. And remember the times that you struggle with it or may still struggle with it, because that's what helps us. I know I'm not coming at you like, this is... I know about the struggle when you just want to cave in, give it all away, be like, you know what, it's not that serious. But if it gives you joy, it gives you peace, it gives you love, it gives you understanding, you can't stop. And that's just the reality of it. All right, 15, something he or she may have missed out on as a kid. There are some people, I've spoken to them here on our live doll chat, if anyone can playwright. We have talked. And some people said, I didn't even play with dolls as a kid. I didn't have any dolls, wasn't thinking about dolls. And then out of nowhere, this urgency and this desire to connect with something that was childhood related came to me. And so some people are like, I didn't really enjoy it. And then there's some people who did enjoy dolls. And I'm really thinking like my mom and my aunt. My aunt, from what I understand, didn't really play with dolls like that, but my mother did. They may have had dolls, but their dolls were nowhere close to what we have now. Nowhere close. Like they had the standard, original, vintage doll. So now when you look at the articulation, the different skin tones, the different hair textures, come on now. Those same people from earlier, when they didn't have those dolls, they're like, I want this doll. Because this is different and new from what I had when I was growing up. So it allows you to be able to play with something that you didn't have when you were younger. Because the technology wasn't the same. The protests weren't the same. Come on now. We got dolls in wheelchairs. We have dolls with hearing aids. We have a doll that has Down syndrome now. Yes, Down syndrome. So it's changed and it's evolved to incorporate more people who are of diverse backgrounds. That wasn't the case during the baby boomer era and before. You know, those dolls, because dolls have always been a part of our society. Some people are like, some people just judge the doll community as far as when it first erected and originated. They come from the time of when Barbie took the idea. I think the owner had went to a Dutch community. Don't cite me on that. But she went out of town, out of the country, and saw a Barbie. It wasn't called a Barbie during that time. And she looked exactly like our Barbie. And she took that idea. Came here to America and incorporated it. And it became her own. And she named it Barbie instead of naming it what that company had. Literally swimsuit stripes, everything. So some people may not have had the dolls that we have now. And this is their way of being able to connect to those dolls. But as far as historically speaking, dolls have been around since cavemen. They find dolls and artifacts of different materials that have little arms stretched out and legs wide and little outfit on, because dolls have always been a part of what has brought people joy, comfort, fun. Always. So someone may have missed out on it. Number 16, another reason why is because they want to. Because they want to. There's nothing wrong with wanting to. Some people just do it because they want to. Barb's World said, take healthy mental break. Keeps you balanced. Come on now, sis. The nostalgia of the 80s and 90s are everything. You know me, BB and CC all the way, sis. One thing, our dolls, I don't give a dang what color that they were the 80s or 90s, the paint job was amazing. And it doesn't take away from the paint job they do now. There's way more marketing. There was marketing then as far as the heavy purchasing of dolls back then when we were growing up. But now it's even more because you got online sales. And they're like, hey, you doll collectors aren't taking into account all the online sales and store sales that have to be made. So we are going to go for pixelation. And they stamp that daggone face on there and they keep it rolling. And then we're like, what is this? The eyes wonky. But, I mean, they do have a lot that they have to, do shipment-wise to fulfill orders. And I understand, but the dolls of the 80s and 90s, where it's always going to be a treasure trove because we didn't have online sales, so they could spend more time making the face detailed and really having it where there wasn't that pixelation. Of course, we didn't have the 3D printers and, all that other technology, but I'm telling you, weren't our dolls awesome? They really, really were, and that's why we take the heads off, pop them off, and put them on another body. It was great, but it doesn't knock the dolls now. You just try to get a doll with less pixelation. Hello, Limits Dorothea. That's my mother. I was just talking about you and your era as far as the dolls that you had during your time not being the same dolls that we have now during our time. And that people that may be during, my mother's age and time or younger or older, you may be involved with dolls too, because your dolls may not have been the same like what we have now. These dolls aren't the same as what I had now, when I was growing up. So I fully understand being like, hey, I like this. When my husband went to the store in order to get me some dolls, one lady, like literally this happened, I heard in the background, she was like, so what's this plastic bag for? And he was like, oh, well, once you're done with the doll, you can store your stuff inside of it and, the doll stuff. She's like, oh, wow. It reminded me of the lady off of Mad TV. I just heard it through the phone, and she was just like, cute. If you've ever seen Mad TV, my mother knows about this character. That's what it reminded me of. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. That was a character by Mo Collins, and she would go to, yard sales, so she'd be like, that's cute. It was really, really funny. Okay, so, yeah, we just talked about that. And Idol for You said, yes, my last mini-me customer was an older lady. Idol said, in her 80s. Wow, that's cool. Purple Concert said, yes, she did. Doll Mama said, yes, because the dolls were to teach them how to be mothers. We have so much more creativity. Doll Mama said her name was Barbara. Come on now. Where are we at? Barbara Handler. That is right. Good job, Barbara Handler. So if you don't know her, Google her, Barbara Handler. I thank her for bringing, listen, I don't like anybody stealing concepts and ideas. I don't. I'm thankful, though, that in her stealing the concept and idea, we were able to, because she did, she stole it. But I'm thankful. Don't get mad at me. It's just real. She did. But I am thankful because by her doing that, it did, in fact, allow us all to have a childhood of being able to have a figure, a literal toy figure that we enjoyed and that brought us so much happiness, right? So Barbara Handler may not have done things right, but in her not doing things right, so many of us have benefited and profited from it. Look where we're at. Look where we're at right now. So come on now. Malco Jojo 16 Ghost said Kachina dolls in the Native American community ages old. Wow. Bars World said yes, amazing doll quality. Then Bars World says sad about the quality because our nostalgic dolls are way better and always will be. Bars World said not hubby giving doll tips. He is in tune. Doll Mama said, I told y'all seen the pictures. I'll be having those dolls all on the bed shelf, and he's cool with it. He's like, if that makes you happy, let's go with it. Doll Mama said, yes, she did, and gave it to Disney. Barbie Rose said she did, and she laughed to take the idea, but you know, ain't that right, sis? She took it, but we did benefit. So I wish things could have been different as far as maybe better communication, but I was not during that time. And I'm just benefiting from what was. Like, I live in America. I wasn't during the time of Columbus. I don't agree with some things, as you guys have probably heard me say during previous lives. But I do benefit from being born here. All right. So, number 16, because they want to. We already talked about that. You do what you want. 17, collecting for the value of the dolls. Collecting for the value of the dolls. These dolls are an investment. There was a time in my life when I was not allowed to open doll boxes. There were some dolls I couldn't open from the box. My mother did not let me. And there were some dolls that were just for display. That's what she told me. And there were some dolls that I could play with. There were dolls I could play with. There was display dolls. There was dolls that was in a box because those were investment dolls. And it's really, really hard as a kid to stare at the dolls. If any of you guys saw the post that I did right before Christmas, right before the phone broke, I have a post of my childhood pictures from the, what do you call those? Polaroid. Those Polaroids that we had, the Polaroid days. And I posted that. And you can see I have some dolls that's lined up on my dresser. Those were the dolls that I was not supposed to touch. But I took them over Michelle's house sometimes. Some of those I did take over Michelle. Definitely Freddie. He's the guy with the shiny tuxedo that you could like flip over his tie. The wedding doll. Oh my God, that wedding dress was phenomenal. I have not seen a wedding dress on the same level of what we had during the 80s, especially the 90s. Oh my God, that dress. And then she had the lingerie. Do you know which one I'm talking about? You could take off the dress, like the skirt bottom, and she had the lingerie. Sis! Oh my gosh, that doll was phenomenal. She had the tights. I love that doll. I want that doll. That's a Grail doll for me. That is a Grail doll for me. All right, so I used to take those dolls, and I used to take this like UNICEF ambassador doll. I took her on the low. She was like my Priscilla Rashad doll. Like, I loved Priscilla Rashad. Still does. Still do. And, yeah, I took her over Michelle's house. And then I would, come back home, quickly put them back on the dresser. Yeah, they were there the whole time. All weekend. But I did. But there were some dolls that you couldn't touch. And those dolls were the dolls of value. As I will make a point in the last note, which still actually ties in with this, they were an investment. Always heard that growing up. An investment. I'm making an investment in you. That's why you're going to this school, because it's an investment. These dolls right here is an investment. These dolls are going to be worth something when you get older. Don't take them out the box. Like, that's what I heard. Investment, investment, investment. And it's crazy because now you go online, you may see a doll from 1998, and that doll is $32. And you're like, then you see a doll that was manufactured and created in 2018, and she's running for $2,400. And you're like, how the heck? So if I would have kept those dolls, is a possibility that instead of going for $2,400, that doll would have went for $30, $35. Come on now. And then I had this wonderful and delightful interview with Jian Young. And if you have not seen it, go back to it. It's on YouTube. Check it out. And check it out on here before I delete it, because I am deleting my past interviews and conversations and uploading them on YouTube. So that one is already on YouTube. Check it out. But we talked, and he spoke about supply and demand. And he's like, if it's a heavy, if it's a demand for it, it's going to be up in price. If there's not a heavy demand for it, it's not. And so even for some of us that may have collected and kept those dolls from the 80s and the 90s, you then go on eBay and you're like, $32? How's that possible? It's not a heavy demand. Now, in my case, I had a whole lot of not so great things happen to my dolls. And so, you know, we had the closet issue or the attic issue with the mice, like I've talked about, and those dolls that I did keep got destroyed. So I feel like, cry me a river, like for real, like it hurt. It hurts to even talk about them. Like, in my mind, I'm like, why didn't I keep them outside the attic? Why didn't I discern? Why didn't I hear the Holy Spirit say, keep it out of the attic? Wasn't there a voice? There was no voice. I just didn't, you know, stuff happened. Stuff happened. So I don't have those dolls. I don't have those dolls. But if you did keep it, there's a possibility that you could get $80, $20, or $100. Hopefully you get closer to $100, because just because you kept the dolls for the 90s does not mean that you're going to get the amount of money that you would think that you would get for the value of those dolls. It's sad, but true. She did take the idea, but you know, $1 for You said yes. $1 for You said yes. She was everything. Barswell said, love the Barbie lingerie. Yes. And I've seen it on your page. Yes. And then she said, you are definitely from my era, sis. Look, but don't touch. Ain't that right? Now they are truly an investment. Soon to belong to my niece, because I know the value. Good for you, sis, on the YouTube page. Supporting you over there. Too much love and respect. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Definitely go to the YouTube page. Check out the videos. Like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to the page. Follow this page as well if you are not already. We put that out there. Some dolls are just for display. Whatever your hobby is, it may just be for display. Even if it's dance. Maybe you have some pictures of yourself dancing and you're just like, I'm going to display the pictures of myself dancing. You know, this doesn't just apply to us in the doll community. It could be whatever you're doing. It could be video games. You could just be able to have video games of vintage era, like Nintendo. You got Nintendo Wii way over here. And you've got, you know, PlayStation. And, you know, you've got like 1, 2, 3 over here. And you may not even play with the Nintendo from back in the day, like every once in a while, maybe. But you just have it for purposes of nostalgia. And to be able to say, this is an investment. I got one of the original Game Boys. This is an investment piece. So sometimes it's literally for investment. It's not for playtime. It's just to be able to say, I have this from an investment standpoint. 19. To represent idols and celebrities. Sydney, Barbie World, we are almost done. We are coming to the end part of our list. Some people may have dolls and sharing this adult play hobby or adult play life that we do, because they want dolls that look like celebrities. There's been plenty of celebrities. Diana Ross, Beyonce. Who else who we have had? Elvis Presley, although they did that on a Barbie and not a Ken. Elton John. I know they got Dapper. What is his name? Dapper. Ooh, Dan. Dapper Dan. I know so many of us in the comments were like, oh, I hope that it's a Ken. I think it's going to be a Barbie, because it said Dapper Dan X Barbie. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to get the Dapper Dan that we're thinking we're going to get. We got Mariah Carey coming out. Betsy Coleman. In fact, what she's got on right now is a Betsy Coleman jacket. I love Betsy Coleman. I love Betsy Coleman. My mother, story time. My mother used to have me do, I guess you would say, like homeschooling. My husband made this too. In case you guys are interested in jewelry, he made this. But yeah, my mom would have me study African American history. So every week on Friday, like clockwork, I had to give her a report. So I had my regular school. I had to do homework for school. I had an outside job that I was working. I just put labels on these bags, like just Ziploc bags for this one company, the Casito cookies. And I would put the label on the Casito cookies. And then I would go to like the neighboring businesses right next to where my mom's business was, in order to ask them that they need help. And I would help my mother in her shop, like with the cleaning. And I love doing windows, although she did not like me doing windows because I made a mess. And so she ended up hiring someone to do the windows. But I loved it. And then they had that little squeegee. I still want one. It looks so cool. But I would do the cleaning there, and then whenever she had customers come in, I would find out, you know, I ended up getting like made my own little desk. And I would get their appointments and write it down and, let them know how much they paid and what the balance was and give them a receipt. Like, I was a busy kid. And that's why playtime was so important to me. It really, really, really was. But where was I going with that story? I was like, story time. But just being able to know that the dolls that we have allows us to explore occupations and to be whoever we want to be. I don't really think that was where I was going with that, but I kind of like lost my focus when I gave that story time. Just that, I was very, very busy, even as a kid, helping my mom in her business and putting the labels on the other company's job. And so whenever I had time, that's why play was so important to me growing up. But I don't know if Dapper Dan is actually going to be a Ken. I think it's going to be a Barbie, just like the Elton John was, just like the Elvis Presley was. I do hope that they do have a Ken. What, a Dapper Dan doll? Yes. Hubby is multifaceted. You better support and push his stuff. Love the love. Amen. Yes, definitely. Come on now, sis. I know I'm blessed. I'm not going to sit up here and funk the funk. You know what I mean? Don't fake the funk. I know I am. So some people may get dolls to represent celebrities. And let's talk about love. I love how you support the love in your marriage. And you put that out here on social media. It's a beautiful thing. I tell you what. I have not seen wives support and husbands support wives on the level that I do right now until joining this doll community. Being involved with other communities, I mean like church community, writing community, being in college, all this other stuff, just dealing with other people, family community. I have not seen women that just like really do support and undergird their husbands and have the husbands undergird their wives and be like, whatever makes you happy, I'm there with you. Join this doll community. I see it all the time. All the time. I mean, just pick an account. You can like pick it out. You can just get like a name out of a hat. They support each other. And it's beautiful. And it's like, it's awesome. That's why I'm so big about this doll community. I'm like, we have something beautiful. It's a gold mine. I know Instagram is changing up the algorithms and we're not always able to see each other. But when we do see each other's posts and we search each other out, it's a beautiful thing. It is so beautiful. I love this community. So work of arts is another reason why some people collect dolls and some people get involved with their hobby because it's a work of art. Work of art. And they love art. I think that kind of speaks for itself. Some people do because it's a one of a kind. I have this doll and no one else has it. This doll is customized just for me. Looks like me. Looks exactly like Mariah Carey, which I'm excited about the Mariah Carey doll that's coming out. I think I was talking about Bessie Coleman. That's what I was talking about, guys. Bessie Coleman, because even with everything I had going on, my mama still wanted that report on Friday. Isn't that right, Lemons Dorothea? I know she's still on here. He wanted that report every Friday. So I had this little book that I had to read, and I had to select someone from Black History that I was going to write a report on. And then I had to write a report, and she was like, I do not want word for word. It better not be word for word. And if it was word for word, that means that I just wrote it straight from the book. She wanted me to read it and then reiterate it to show that I had understanding of it. Which thank God for, for all that, because, I'm where I'm at right now. But I'm telling you, it was a lot of pressure. I had all that going on. But I learned about Bessie Coleman when, all that was going on and my mother wanted me to get the work done. Thank God for her and thank God for that, because it inspired me to really have a love for Bessie Coleman, who stepped out. Hear me? She stepped out of the confines of the infrastructure of that era and time, and she became unstoppable. It's unfortunate that she did die early, but I'm telling you, she was like, if you guys want to accept me and allow me to be a pilot here in America, I will go to France. She goes to France, she studies, she learns the language, she becomes a pilot there, and then she comes back here. And right before she died, she was going to have an air school that was going to be open to people of color. And it's unfortunate that she did die right then. But I'm telling you, dude, Plus some of that, she was like one of the first ones to make that trip around the, she was going to make a global trip. And I believe that she did. I can't remember how many days that it took, but she did do it. Just phenomenal. And she shows me, and she showed me then, and she shows me now, don't let anything stop you. I don't care what barriers are in front of you, what obstacles are in front of you. Don't let anything stop you. When I saw that Mattel was doing the Betsy Coleman doll, like, and you know I'm really big on, I want the doll to look similar. I really, really do. But I didn't make a real big deal about it because it's like, at least the name is getting out there and people can study up on her and learn more about her. Or if you already know about her, you can now hold a piece of history. I was so excited. And the Madam C.J. Walker, I was so excited. Those are like two people that historically I looked up to and really wanted to be able to do what they did. Maybe not in hair, maybe not in aviation, but to be able to break the barriers and be a phenomenal force and connect people and have people to understand that we're all human. We need love. Let's love each other. Let's value each other, because that's how I feel that their presence during that time and era and even now brought. So those are just, I love the Inspiring Women series. I love Florence Nightingale. I really, really do. You know, do you guys know about the lantern? Do you know? Do you know? If you don't, go look it up. Go look it up. Helen, do you know? Do you know about her being blind? Look it up. It's just awesome. I love the Inspiring Women chapter, you know, like that particular line of dolls that Mattel has. It's amazing. All right, so we got some hand claps. Thank you so much. Melco Jojo, Barb's World said, custom beauty, love your mini sis. You did a good job making her your own. Thank you. Zeta, the Barbie girl, said, art, love her here. I love it in all forms. Same over here, sis. Exactly. So we're coming to a close. Culturally related. This is our one of our last points. We only got 2 points left. Culture related. Day of the Dead dolls is what speaks to me. Sometimes people as adults are collecting dolls because it may speak to their culture. And I'm going to call out those who are of the Spanish-speaking background. And it may be that they're Mexican, Puerto Rican, you know, any background. I'm thinking Cuban. If they celebrate maybe the Day of the Dead, if they celebrate other festivities in their culture, then collecting those dolls symbolizes and represents, is a representation of their culture. It's a cultural representation. So that is one of the other reasons why people will collect dolls or just play. And that could go for clothing. There may be someone who buys clothing that represents their culture. But for them, it's a playtime situation. We talk about art and being an art lover. There are people who do art or who purchase art, and they're purchasing it no matter if it's an $8 piece of art, an $80 piece of art, an $800 piece of art, an $8,000 piece of art. They're buying it because it is a symbol and representation of their culture. Or they're buying it because it's fun. Or buying it because it reminds them of something that they saw in the house when they were growing up, and it's a nostalgic piece. Like I said, this could go for anything that gives you play. It fits. Here goes our last piece, or our last point, I should say, our last point. Historical purposes. Historical purposes. Example, period and era dolls. So you see some dolls, and they come from, what era would that have been? Like, maybe like the 1910s. Mattel has some dolls that has like the Christmas look, like the coat with the hood and the fur, and fur right here and fur right here, and the little mitt, like that little mitt. I can't even think of what it's called anymore, but it just wraps around the arms, you know what I mean? And their hands go in it to keep your hands warm. So, like, those are more like your period pieces. High Value of the Dolls, 61. Thank you for joining. So, those are more of like your period pieces. And there are some people who may be heavily connected to period pieces. And that's why they are now collecting dolls or playing with the dolls because they like having period pieces. And I'm just naming one period. It could be Egyptian period. I love the Egyptian period. So that could also be it. And when we talked about cultural dolls, let me also say there's different Chinese dolls, like the Luna doll. There's also, like, you may be Jamaican or you may have Jamaican ancestry. You may just admire Jamaicans. There's also Jamaican dolls. There's also African dolls. There's so many different dolls. Dolls of the world. Come on now. Dolls of the World line. How many people remember those? Dolls of the World line celebrates folks of different cultures. So some people may collect dolls and figurines and trinkets and all these different things that represent their culture. And the same with historical purposes. Some people may relate and feel a connection to certain periods of history, and they purchase dolls and are given dolls, and you know what I mean, because they relate to that period of time, because that's something that's important to them. Maybe they feel like they were there before in another life, or maybe it's just a time period that they admire. They feel like life was easier back then. They feel like it was worse back then. They love the fashion and the beauty back then. It could be multiple reasons why that historical time period speaks to them. And so you see them collecting dolls, items and trinkets and objects that relate to that time period. So guys, that was my list of about 24 items. If you want to add something on here, do it now. Like I said, I am going to be saving this live as I have done in the past on my page. I'm going to save it on my page. If you come to this page, I can't even say if you, when you come to this page and you have something in your mind that you believe, think, or feel is a reason why we as adults collect dolls, write it in the comments. There's going to be other people who want to be able to see it, to read it, to be able to vibrate with it. And I'm like, you know what? That's what made me also become an adult collector. Or I know someone that became an adult collector based off of that. Or that's a really good idea to become an adult collector. Melco Jojo 16 Gold said, great live. Thank you. I appreciate it. Barbara Sproul said, enjoyed you, sis. Love the live. You rock. You rock too. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You can always check out the live that Barb's were on and I did. That is located on Instagram. Check it out on Instagram. Like I said, check these out because I'm going one by one downloading these into YouTube. And once it gets downloaded into YouTube, I put a snippet on here on the Instagram page. And then I delete it. I delete the original. And it's kind of unfortunate because I wanted to archive them, but Instagram did not give me that option to archive the live. And it hurt. Now, if you know how to archive the live, a previous live show that you did, let me know, please. DM me. Let me know because I don't want to lose the live. I would like to archive it at least. But thus far, when I tried different avenues and ways to save my previous live, it won't let me. And I was kind of sad, but I also told myself, you know what, it's kind of like the salt art that people do. They do the salt art and they create these masterpieces and they just blow it away, during the live I had with Gian Young, he was like, he does this flushable art. Check out his book on Amazon, flushable art. And yet when the art's done, he's like, he just gets rid of it because it's flushable. You just get rid of it. And I'm like, how do you get rid of it? I even said during the live, I'm like, I like to hold on to stuff. How do you get rid of it? And maybe that's the season that God has me in. It's just you did these lives and they were awesome shows. Now you have to be comfortable letting go. Let it go. Let it go. I'm doing Elsa. Let it go and be okay with it. It's not like it's completely gone. It's on YouTube. But me being the emotional hoarder that I can be at times, I want to keep it on both platforms and not let it go. But let it go. Let it go. That's where I'm at with this. Enjoyed your live. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. So Barb's World laugh is serious. Like, I'm learning. Like, you gotta let it go. So I don't think there's a way of archiving the previous lives. It just get deleted from the Instagram platform, but you can always check it out on YouTube. Like I said, check them out before they get deleted. But if they do, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. And so Barb's World and I had an awesome, amazing live. Thank you so much for the time that you spent talking to me and just staying in connection to me. It really does help me to be able to stay in connection with my Detroit roots. Because as you guys know, I am a foreigner here in Kentucky. Although I've been here most of my life, like all my life almost. I still, Detroit just like, it's that bumblebee. It is. It's that bumblebee. Once you get stung, you're born there, you feel it. You're like, oh. You're always welcome, boo. Amen. Yes, because you always, it's where you come from. It's hard to say. It's the soil you come from. Anytime whenever you come from another place and you live somewhere else, I don't care if it's been 20 years that you live in that new place, or 2 years or 2 months, you feel like you're different. You're just like, I don't quite fit in here. I'm not the same. And I may not fit in Detroit because I've been gone for so long. But it just still feels like home. That's where I hail from. That's where I was born at. So I thank you for always keeping me connected to my Detroit roots. I appreciate it more than what you know. It's always on time. I don't care if I cry when I see the post. I need that. I need that. So thank you. All right, y'all. I gave y'all time to put down anything else that you wanted to add as far as why do adults really play. I do like the church. I'll give you 90 seconds. 90 seconds to put down at the bottom of this live. Put in the comments reasons why we play. Why do adults play? Do you feel like it's something different than what was listed? Yeah, so 90 seconds. We're now on like about 70 seconds. Come on now. The time is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Think about a Jeopardy show. Old school with Alex Trebek. Oh my God, I was so hurt. 50 seconds. I was so hurt when Alex Trebek passed. When we knew, he talked about it. Stress-free, relaxing. Come on, Purple Counselor. Thank you for putting in something in the counselor. Something in the comment. Stress-free, relaxing. Once upon a time, said combine my different parts of creativity. Come on now, exactly. Isn't it true? Because you can craft, you can do dioramas, you're doing photography, you're doing fashion. If you customize your doll, now you're doing some art, you can do some paintings and hang it. Yes, whatever your other areas of creativity are at, you can do that. Writing books and making miniature books to put into your storyline. Just pure nostalgia and childhood memories. Peace, love, and soul. That was Barb's World. Once upon a time in Finland. Photography, dollhouse crafting, and storytelling. Come on now. These are reasons why we as adults continue to play. We want to continue to normalize adult play. Be who you are. Never ever be ashamed of being an adult who still enjoys fun and art and creativity and just being different. Society is always going to try to marginalize us and make us seem like something is wrong. You can't go by that. You can't go by that. You need to know who you are for you and be able to enjoy who you are. And that's the beautiful thing about this community, is that we celebrate and support each other and our uniqueness. So I just want to continue to give it up for you guys and what you do, and I'm included too. I'm not going to put myself on the outside, because despite everything that we have going on in our life, good and bad, we still make time for this platform, and we still make time to share who we are, our creation, our creativity, our heart, our soul, and our message through the work that we do. And I can't tell you how much that it helps people. No matter how you do your storyline, no matter how you do your fashion, your photography, your nature, your dioramas, it speaks to the people that need it the most. And that's one of the things that we have to remember. I don't care if you have 13.K or if you have 1,000 or you got 1. It speaks. and it speaks to the right people. Don't go by who follows you. Go by what speaks to you. This is our playtime, and we need to continue to enjoy it just like we did when we were kids. Thank you so much for joining Barbie Boy Pink. I appreciate it. We need to just continue to enjoy it. And that's my last piece to say is just continue to enjoy it. Whatever your reason is, be it one of the ones that was listed, the points that were added, and I thank you guys for adding it in the comments. And for the future visitors of this particular video, I thank you for adding your comments as well. It has nothing to do with other people. You enjoy what you enjoy. So I thank you guys again. I got to get off here because I've been on here for quite some time. Hopefully Barbie Boy Pink will be able to do this again. I did have it open for us being able to join a little earlier, but I have to close down this live because I have been on here for quite some time, and I do have 10 children. I don't want to leave Daddy upstairs with all 10 of them by himself because I've been up here for quite some time. But next time we will do that. So I thank you guys again. You have a very blessed day, an awesome day. Just continue to allow positivity to just rain all over you and just saturate your everything with enjoyment. And you play for you. You play for you. Thank you again for joining Anyone Can Playwrite. You're all my family. Love you guys. Bye-bye.